This is David Lynn, and you are watching Coffee Talk. Live stream number 460, 7 p.m. Sunday, June the 29th, 2025. And I just got through wolfing down my supper, trying to get it down before I had to come on. Anyway, we are. You're not catching me at my best. And I'm drinking some grape sparkling water, grape flavored sparkling water, white grape sparkling water. Very good. Hello, Uncle Al. Thy Bullfrog 79. Welcome. You still have the same mailing address, Uncle Al? Just a yes or a no. Hello, Melinda Elliott. Got a pot of chili with pineapple sausage and pinto beans. Sounds good. Expect something in the mail this coming week. Two in the house and 2 likes. How are you doing, Melinda? I am trying to. Just got through finishing supper. Some processed meatloaf and white rice. Tired. And Uncle Al 104. Wow. I have been taking care of my wife this weekend. She's been sick. Kid came over a couple of days before she got sick, and trying to explain to her, she gave you something. You know, she's around a lot of people. She probably caught something mild, and you, because of your health, hit you a lot harder. Trying to explain that to her. Yes, working over a hot stove, I understand. Oh man, tomorrow's trash day. Got the trash out. My wife threw up and messed up the bed, so I had to change out everything. Had to wash all the bedding. Process of trying to get the last of it washed and dried. Steamed kale. I do eat a lot of salads. I do eat a lot of salads. Try to eat some fruit. Rather partial to the little small cucumbers and cherry tomatoes in my salads. So anyway, talking a little bit about how things are going. I've been working on another video. Uncle Al says, he put out 2 in one day. Well, that was on 2 different channels. And I've been working on them a while. It just so happens I got both of them finished at the same time. So boom, I dropped one on one channel and I dropped the other one on the other channel. So yeah, I did put out 2 videos in one day. Coats the stomach. I really don't have stomach issues. My wife has stomach issues. She's probably going to have another surgery. SD Mountain Man.
How are you doing, sir?
I watched that video that you did with that old boy. Got a relatively new channel. Forgot his name. I did join his channel, and I did watch several of his.
Oh, the homeless guy?
Yeah, you might tell him that he picked up a subscriber in two of my channels. I would appreciate if he'd return the favor, at least on my main channel. I'm trying to get to 2,000. I'm a little short and working on it. But I always try to support those who support me.
I left him some nice comments.
And and God bless you for being kind to people. That's good, SD. So I'm working on putting together care packets for folks. And just as an example, this is a pack of 14 coffee sticks. And 14 carnation creamers and 14 of the
Stevia sweetener.
I'm trying not to do sugar. But this is going to go in, these packs like this will go into the boxes that I'm going to be sending out to some folks.
With some rations in them. You know me and coffee.
So I'm working on putting these together.
I will be starting to work on my third U.S. MRE meal ready to eat menu number 3, the third one. I'm going to be working my way through case A.
Well, I'm working my way through case A right now, and then I'll go over to case B, which are 13 through 24.
There are 24. I'm working my way through them.
I'm getting ready to start number 3. And I am pretty much old school.
I don't do any of these
like PayPal or any of this stuff. My wife said, my wife, she's like my wife from the standpoint that I treat her like a junior wife. Set him up campground for 3 days and some rations, poncho, clothes, towel, etc. Super couple nights. He speaks quite well. I can tell he's had some upbringing in the way he talks. Still searching for SD birthday box from 2024 and lost it by craft room. God bless you, Uncle Al. I understand. My wife, I had to go into my wife's sewing room, her cave. See, we have a 4-bedroom house. So the kid has a bedroom, which is still her bedroom. It's like the junk room, her junk room now. It's like I went in there, it's like, God almighty, can't find anything, can't even see in here. It's just, yeah, no, it's a little bit messy. Please, Lord. She got that from her mama, I think. And my wife has her cave, her bedroom, or sewing room or whatever. I have my man cave, which we're at right now. Hello, Dave. I have my my man cave, and then we have a bedroom that we have the master bedroom. Yoda's blessed life. Well, you've been
putting out some shorts, son. I think there were 12 today,
At least 12 this morning. Yesterday, I think there's like 13. I basically started watching and clicking, commenting until I got to the last one that I hadn't commented on. It's like 12 of them.
I've never. One day I think I shocked everybody and I dropped 5. I've done that once or twice. A few times I've done 4. Usually I do a couple. Yeah. We've been extremely busy. Yes, he has. I watched a nice video where you were in a $5 store. Everything less than $5. And it was a nice one. Nice one. Watched the whole thing. Left a comment. Did a timestamp on it. Let you know. Oh. Jesus. Good Lord, 12 a day. Yeah. Is that like the limit? Are you that you're allowed to do, like 12 or 13? I mean, is there a limit on how many you're allowed to load up in a day? Yes, please hit the like button. It will help me out. Appreciate like and comments. I will say it's good manners to leave a like. It's good manners to leave a comment when you come into somebody's channel. Let them know you were there. And I had somebody tell me, stop leaving numbers. Don't leave numbers when you leave a comment. And I'll oftentimes I'll say like number 1 or like number 2 or like number 20 or whatever. And I'll use the thumbs up emoji. If I don't have anything else to say, I let you know it was me by saying like number whatever and a thumbs up emoji. So leaving a supportive comment. 100. Good God Almighty. Well, I am going to release 1 or 2 more this evening. I am going to upload 1 or 2 more shorts this evening. And I do have one loaded up. I just need to a video that I just basically need to leave my description. I need to do my description, leave some shout outs on it. And I got one that's about 6 minutes long. It's ready to go. It's all edited up. Looks nice. Good one. I'm at the point where the algorithm can kiss you know what. I'm tired of people telling me that they get notified about my content, that they get a warning about my content. Do you want to proceed? Or I've had people tell me that they have not been allowed to leave a like, or they've not been allowed to leave a comment on some of it. And I'll talk to anybody about anything they want to talk about, and I'll be respectful in the process. But my opinions are fairly conservative. I'm old school. I'm sure that anybody from my parents' generation that had to deal with the woke crowd today would basically shake their heads and they wouldn't have anything nice to say to them. And that's just old school Christian values. Mom of 4 boys. How's it going, Mom? Rachel? And being involved in education, and I deal with people, and they have degrees, really, to be a teacher. I mean, oftentimes you get these people, they're on like emergency certificates, like they're on temporary emergency certificates. They're working on their degree and they're getting paid a substandard wage they're not actually getting full teacher pay. and they're working on trying to get their degrees and such. And you know, and they're so proud of themselves when they get their bachelor's, which they should be, or they get a master's. You know, I deal with, you know, I deal with administrators and such, and they're, you know, they haven't retired. They're working, and maybe they've been in administration 3-4 years. You know, we talk, and I said, well, you know, I was an administrator for 23 years. How about we're 30 years in? And they're very proud of the fact they got a master's degree, because to have a principal certificate, or to have a, you know, a superintendent certificate, you got to have a master's degree, and then, you know, got to have those certifications. And people will talk, and hello, Idaho Garden Girl. You know, they'll talk, and they're, you know, they want to impress you because they got a master's degree. And then I'll tell them, oh yeah, I got 2 of those. Yeah, got 2 of those. Last one was in 95. That's the year that the internet came out. But don't, you know, just, you get some people real arrogant, you know, they want to, everybody wants to one up you, or they want to talk, you know, like they're, you know, like you don't know. You deal with an assistant principal who's, I still consider them a rookie because they've only got a couple of years of experience. And, you know, they're in a position of authority over because you're your teacher. But then they want to treat you like you don't know what's going on, you know. And it's like, well, you know, I'm certified in special ed. Yeah, well, I was a special ed director for 3 years. And yeah, I'm certified in special ed. That's how I started out teaching. And I've been an assistant principal. I've been a principal at elementary school. I've been a high school principal, not assistant principal, high school principal. I was higher up the food chain than you are right now when I was here, before I retired. You know, it's like when they start trying to talk mess with you, you know. Hello, little lone prepper. How's it going? And I'm not being arrogant. I'm just saying that when I deal with people who, you know, try to talk mess, I like to let them know that, you know, I'm not stupid. I'm not up on all the technology. Because, you know, honestly, most of this technology came about after I got my education. And, you know, I have studied, I've taken classes, and, you know, doing stuff. And I've probably forgot more than, and truthfully, I've forgot a lot. I probably forgot more than a lot of those people. But I'm on a tangent, and I'm basically having a rant. Don't really want to. I don't want to just focus on that. Yeah. Part-time planning, how's it going? Peter. Please leave a like to support the channel, everyone. So as I was saying, I'm trying to put together some goodie boxes for some folks. And I'm adding 14 Taster's Choice. Nescafe Taster's Choice is very good coffee sticks. With 14 of the Carnation Creamers and 14 of the stevia sweetener, which is not supposed to cause cancer, artificial. Put together some packets, and I'll be sending out some rations to some folks. I'll surprise some people. I send stuff to people who support me. You consistently support me. I like to show my appreciation. You know, and SD, thank you for your service. Yeah, Dave Rant. I run into one of my former paraprofessionals who's now a teacher. She got her degree in December, and they got such a shortage of teachers, they gave her a position. She's on an alternative certification program. She's got a bachelor's degree, but she's not certified, so she's working on her certification. And I run into her today over at Audi when I went to Audi's, and we were talking. She'll be teaching special ed at a elementary school, not where we were this year, and you know, it's just, it is what it is. We spent a few minutes talking. It's a small store. We're in the store shopping and talking. Well, the other thing, I was over at Walmart, and there's an older guy, older than me, and he was in one of those little carts that you can ride around, and he deserved it. He looked like it because he was past 80, and he had a 24 pack of soda, and he was trying to get into the cart, and I stopped there, and I said, "Let me help you," and I lifted it in, put it in for him. And he looked at me like, how old was I? I said, "How old are you, sir?" And he said, 82. And I said, "Well, you've got almost 20 years on me." Not quite, because I'm 63, but he's close. And he's, you know, I made his day. I helped him out, you know, and he went about his business. He said, "Thank you." And, you know, I said, "Bless you," and went about my business. He went about his business, and I felt good for doing it. You know, if you can help people, help people. Didn't cost me anything. Did not cost me anything. Cold butter in the biscuit dough. That's good. That's good. So anyway, tonight's topic, and we're 22 minutes into tonight's topic, and this is one that we're bringing back from months ago. Long-term foods. Long-term foods. And you know, we've been talking about similar stuff. I'm gonna plug in the charger. And when we talk about long-term foods, wheat, Beria, wheat, rolled oats, rolled oats, and you can make bread out of it. White rice, pails, 5-gallon food-grade buckets, Mylar bags, oxygen absorbers, moisture absorbers, seal it. Got your top, seal it. Got your Sharpie. What is it? When did you put it up? But you can buy pails. I've got some pails over there that I bought. I'm at the point now where I'm not really putting my own together. I'm basically buying them. I buy the stuff that's 30 years shelf life. 30 years shelf life. Feed corn. Dry beans or linguines. Potato flakes. Dehydrated or freeze-dried vegetables. Freeze-dried is the best. It lasts the longest. Celery, carrots, diced onions, etc. White sugar. Honey. Store in glass or plastic. Honey. Pure honey. You want pure honey. pure salt, baking soda, vinegar in glass.
Vinegar. I buy a lot of vinegar for my wife. She uses a lot of white vinegar. I buy it by the gallon. I buy 3 gallons sometimes, and a couple weeks later, can you get me some more? Did you already use that? Excuse me. Ooh, didn't sound good, did it? Blew my nose.
Might be sinuses or allergies or
Whatever you want to call it.
no grain grinder or bucket opener. In 1989, I ate some
Plum jelly that had been canned in 1972. It was fresh and tasty.
Yep, sounds good.
I've got connections with somebody that cans. I've got some canned
Jellies, preserves.
in the refrigerator.
Mr. Whistle,
How are you doing, young man?
Leggy. Thank you, Uncle Al. I'm eating spicy pickles from Sister from years ago. Good stuff, but hot. I ordered powdered vinegar. It can be rehydrated or sprinkled in food as seasoning. I appreciate the comments and I appreciate the add-ons.
Feel free
Educate me.
and educate the folks.
Ascorbic acid. Ascorbic acid, vitamin C. Non-electric grain mill. Manual. Ligme. So I'm at the point where I basically buy number 10 cans and pails.
Like oats and white rice. I've got pails of that. And got lots of number 10 cans. And you got to keep a good inventory of what you got. You got to date the stuff. A lot of it will tell you what the shelf life is. Like it'll like Mountain House will tell you, it was packaged in such and such, and then it's supposed to be good through such and such a date.
Powdered vinegar, never heard of it. Interesting. No, I've never heard of it either, but I'm going to look into it. All right, dry stores. Again,
Corn, feed corn.
rice,
Beans.
wheat. Uncle Al says
750 pounds per year per person. Combination of that. Put in 5-gallon buckets and Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers, moisture absorbers, and lid. Label it and date it with a Sharpie. Put it somewhere where it's out of the heat and in a dark place.
Try to keep it in the 70s. Here's another one. 7 meals in
Cans, 1 year's worth.
meals in cans. A year's worth. Stuff that you will eat. Stuff that you will eat. So,
We were talking about
How do you? Air is a pain. Dang, cameras and truck AI. I mess with it. Hold water bottle to side of face. Like phone make manager look. LOL. Yeah, AI is a pain. Lots of stuff's a pain. You know, we're living in transition times. My parents were born during the transition from horses, wagons, carriages to automobiles. Um, Ford with the assembly line, where they could crank out thousands of Model Ts, Model As, affordable, the working man's. And you had the transition during the 20s and the 30s from, you know, and there are a lot less horses, and then wasn't a need for horses, and they weren't breeding near the horses. So as they died, and there weren't near as many of them. Still, you had the rural areas, you know, the Amish, the Mennonites, some of the religious communities and such. Other places around the world where they didn't get into the technology until later on. Yeah. And see, that's another thing. All this catalytic crap that came out. Cleaner air. They did not want lead in the gasoline, so they had unleaded gasoline back in the 60s and the 70s when they transitioned from the lead to the unleaded gasolines. And then the smaller engines, like back in the day, everybody had a 400, you know, large V8 engine. And then it was like V6s. It's like 6 cylinders. Like I can remember my first car that my mom, when I graduated in 1980, my mother bought me a Buick Regal, and it was a sport coupe. It had a 3.8 liter V6 engine in it, automatic, beautiful cherry red, very nice. And then they went to the 4-cylinder ones. And you go some places overseas, they're using those little 2-cylinder things. They use the 3-wheelers. Looks almost like a golf cart, or it looks like a bicycle with 2 wheels in the rear, and they got seating for somebody in the back, and then you got the guy. Looks like he's on a bicycle and he's, you know, driving the damn thing. 350, 400, 440, 454. Yeah. Back in the days, Smokey and the Bandit. There was a trilogy. Loved the first one. Liked the second one. I'm not a real Dom DeLuise fan, but liked the second one. The third one didn't have, well, Burt Reynolds did a cameo at the end, but he wasn't in the third one. Jerry Reeve got to be the bandit. And then Jackie Gleason had a real expanded role where he played, he had like brothers, twin brothers or triplets. One of them was like a Mountie, Canadian Mountie, called in reinforcements to try to get the bandit, Canadian Mountie. Another one was a gay rod back in the day. A flaming, you know. And Jackie Gleason could do comedy. He could really. I love Jackie Gleason, you know, and his cussing and everything.
He is really good. He is a very intelligent man.
But I mean, like that Trans Am, that sold a lot of Trans Ams, those movies. Hey, KP Heathen, how are you doing, sir? Please leave a like to support the channel, everybody. It will be greatly appreciated. So, I am going to be doing some more giveaways. I'm thinking about, because, you know, I've got people who come in, they support my live streams, they watch all my stuff, and I think a good number of them I've given stuff to already. I've already sent stuff to them, or they've won one of my giveaways, because I've done, good God, I've done 16 or 17, you know, over hundreds giveaways. Working on the 2,000 giveaway right now when I get to 2,000. And I'm going to be doing some extra goodie boxes. So some of you folks have already got stuff from me. I'll be surprising you. If I ask you, you still got the same address? Or, you know, it's like, oh, this might be coming. You know, and I'm on vacation right now, and I'll be on vacation for the next month or so. But when I go back, it'll slow way down, you know, because I've got a job and I got a wife and got to support, you know, got to do the cooking and trying to take care of her and take care of all the stuff, because her health is not good, and she's probably going to have another surgery. They don't seem to be able to seal up her gut properly, where, you know, her hernia. They did a scan on her, and she's got 2 holes. And, you know, we don't want the intestine to, because then it's what they call stranulate or whatever. It hurts like hell. You have to try to massage it back in place. Hole keeps getting bigger, and then you got to really do the surgery. Yeah, my wife, Esmeralda. Uncle Al lives in the desert. He likes to tell you he lives in the desert. He lives in a very, very small conservative part of a rural part of California. And you know, honest to God, you look at California, if you look at the counties that vote red, there are more counties that vote red than vote blue. But the problem is that most of the population's in those blue counties, those big blue waste, those cesspool cities. And they control things. You know, it's just, I don't know. So now the latest one is that, did the president go too far by bombing Iran, bombing those nuclear sites? They're trying to find, the Democrats are trying to find anything they can get on the guy. They're fighting tooth and nail to try to avoid deportations. You know, honest to God, you got over 50 million foreign-born people here. Most of them don't have citizenship. You know, and you know, and you got a lot of them are criminals. Now, not all of them by any means, you know, not the majority of them, but hell, you know, if just say you got 10% of them, well, 10 million, that'd make 1 million. And if there's 25, 30 million or more of them, 3 million people, and they're raising hell about the fact that they're deporting, they're catching 300-400 that they're after. They're catching 300-400, 500 a day. A few days they've caught 1,000. Depend on how they're doing it or where they're at.
And this is across the country, you know.
So they're never going to get through the way they're doing it.
Take care, SD. Thank you for coming.
God bless you. And don't forget, tell your friend, respond to my comments, and, you know, do something good for me. Well, I hope he has a safe trip, Rachel. He's not going to a very nice place. Eight in the house, 9 likes. Please leave a like to support the channel. It will be greatly appreciated. Really will. And
so going through this again.
Long-term foods. Things that you want to have in some quantity. Next oldest is just 16. Well, enjoy them while you have them. Long-term foods. Wheat, rolled oats. Better have the ability to grind it. Want to make some bread? Better have the ability to grind it. And, you know, and I don't think an automatic grinder, it's good to have an automatic grinder, but you need to have a manual one. You need to probably have a couple of those. White rice. Buy the pail, or you can get like a 25-pound bag, 50-pound bags. I've got a few of those. I've put them in Mylar in food grade buckets. Beans, pinto beans. I bought 50-pound bags of pinto beans, and I've got them in Mylar and food grade buckets. Leggies. Potato flakes, dehydrated freeze-dried vegetables, renting a car. Yeah, when I do traveling, I like to rent a car, and if I'm putting like a lot of miles on it, I like to rent a car, and that way I'm not using my own vehicle. Plus, my vehicles are older. I really don't want to drive them several hundred miles away from the house. And I don't fly. So dehydrate or freeze-dried vegetables, you know, number 10 cans. Celery, carrots, diced onions, etc. White sugar. Yes, traveling mercies. May he travel safely. God bless him. Honey, stored in glass or plastic. Pure salt. Baking soda. Vinegar in glass. Ascorbic acid, which is vitamin C. A grain mill. You need a grain mill. Need a couple of them. Dry stores again, corn or feed corn, rice, beans, wheat. Put in 5-gallon buckets in Mylar bags with oxygen absorbers, moisture absorbers, and a lid. Make sure you label them, date them, the Sharpie. Uncle Al says 750 pounds per person per year, a combination of those dry stores. Something else, 7 meals in cans, 1 year's worth. So where are we at? Well, you know, we can talk about Esprit stoves and having tablets. You really should use those outside because of the smell. I much prefer canned heat or sterno stove. They're just a little bit bigger from the standpoint of they're very small. You can carry them in the backpack, and you really would want to have more than one. That way, you can be doing two different things, like having a cooktop. You're doing two different things at a time. You can be boiling water, and you can be heating soup, or you can be heating chili, or you know, heating a ration, a retort pouch, freeze dried. You need boiling water for freeze dried. You also need boiling water for coffee or for tea. So sometimes you might have two of them going, especially if you're at your station or at your place and you don't, there's a power outage. It's good to have like a propane stove or a propane cooker, whatever. Make sure you keep your supplies up. You have those 20-pound tanks. It's good to have a couple of them. One goes out, you can switch it out, and then remember to go fill them up. The empty one. I have 4 of the 20-pound ones. Got one empty that I need to go fill up. Well, Dave is loading. Looks like Dave is loading up some of his shorts. 12 or 13 in the evening. God almighty. Whew. I try to swing by and leave him likes and emojis. And that's another thing about home training and manners. Respect your elders. I have elders. That man that I told you I helped at Walmart, 82-year-old, he was my elder. He was an adult before I was born. Got 19 years on me. And I'm an elder. I'm 63, so younger folks should pay me respect. When I was young, I respected my elders, and I respect my elders today. Show your upbringing. Call it what we call home training. And I try to treat people the way I want to be treated. And I, live by the motto to do unto others as I want others to do unto me. And I've been a leader when it comes to in church. When it comes to the ministry, I've been a leader in the Gideons. I've been on the state cabinet in Texas, where you basically represent the organization and you train and you try to encourage and you try to mentor younger members or newer members and such. And the same thing, when it comes to school. I've been an assistant principal. I've been a principal. I've been a central office administrator. And, the role, you got to be able to assume the role and you got to be competent at it. And I've often found they will promote people beyond their level of competence. I've known people that were excellent assistant principals, and then they made principal and they weren't a very good principal. Or they were a really good an outstanding principal, and then they got placed over at the central office, which they really shouldn't have been placed at the central office, but it was a promotion, more money, and easier job. And then they don't do a very good job in the position they're at the central office. It's like sometimes you're promoted beyond your level of competence. And, I think about it today, like I sometimes think about going back into administration. And think, well, do I have the energy level to do what I used to do? Do I have the ability by energy to do what I used to do, where you're constantly on the move and you don't really accomplish anything until after school is out and everybody's gone home, and then you get to do your paperwork,
And it's like, no, I really don't want to do that. And you start thinking about, well, how much more money would I get paid for that? I mean, in my position, I make more than 2 of the 3 assistant principals that I have at my school. One of them really resents it. Heard the person complain, been told the person complained about how much money I make. Well, I mean, I'm topped out. You know, you over 30 years and graduate degree and stipends for special ed and stipend for doing a behavioral unit and everything. And you got somebody who's only got a couple years experience in administration, and yeah, and they're assistant, and they don't pay that well, assistant principals. So it's like, it's not my fault. But it is what it is. Yeah, that mayor, communist, like they've got a socialist, communist, whatever you want to call him, Muslim, up in New York, won the primary. And he wants city run grocery stores and limit caps on what you can charge for rent. And he wants to do away with the police, and he wants social workers. I mean, a lot of stuff that's just, he's just trying, you know, it's just like, and the young people, they voted for him, or they want him. So now he's going to be running against, I think, Sleva, who used to be Guardian Angels, you know. And the mayor, who left the Democratic Party, is now an independent, will be running. So it'll be like a 3-way race. And God help New York if the socialist wins it. So New York's already a bad place. They're doing everything they can to kill it. Yeah, I worry about my kids. Yeah, they're idiots. They're idiots, Uncle Al, that's true. And I worry about my daughters. Both of my daughters are college educated, and they're both well, one of them's a clinical counselor, and the other one's a teacher, you know, elementary teacher. But they're both married now. Fairly newly married. One of them's pregnant. I'll post a picture of the next sonogram that shows the sex when I get it. Yeah, you know, pray daily. You pray for your family. You know, make sure they tell them you got to check in with me every day. Latter part of the day, check in with me. Send me a text message. Let me know what's going on. Doesn't take you that long. I'm on my daughter, who lives here a few miles from me. I'm on her ass all the time about texting me or calling me. If she doesn't, I'll call her. If I go for a couple of days without hearing from her, I'll call her. Then I'll remind her, did you call or text your mother today? You should be doing it every day with her health. You know, Mom worries about her. I worry about her all the time, but Mom's constantly just misses her. You know, she'll cry for her. And I tell her, you know, I said, you want to pull one of those where you don't call me? I said, I can go longer than you can without talking to you. You know, you want to build up a resentment? Try that one, especially when you want Dad's help financially. That's one of the things. No, we don't know the sex yet. The last, I've got a one of those images, but it doesn't show the sex. It shows the baby sucking its thumb. You know, looked like the baby was sucking its thumb. But she said when they do the next one, which should be coming in any time now, because it's been about a month, they're going to do another one in a month, you know, when she goes back for another checkup. The baby's due in September. So I think it's due in September. I don't remember. My mind's not what it used to be. Anyway, good Lord,
Yep, Dave's uploading. Here's another one. He's uploading another one. Looks like Uncle Al just uploaded one chili, cauliflower, fried liver, and tortillas. So you got folks uploading videos. You know, it is what it is. I will plan on trying to come back tomorrow for another live stream. I'll have another topic. And I will be working on some boxes for some folks. I went and got some boxes. And I will be sending some goodie boxes out. If you hear me say you still got the same address, something might be coming. I've already let a couple of folks know. Food Forest Permaculture. Hello, Howie. How are you doing? Please leave a like to support my channel, Howie. And Bus Stop, if you're there lurking, son, leave me a like. It'd be nice if you'd leave me a comment. Mr. Holmes, leave me a comment and leave me a like, please. Johnny, if you're out there, leave me a comment. I mean, I've got friends that basically, you know, they lurk around. They don't want to. They very rarely will leave a comment or leave a like or whatever. Well, they'll leave a like, but they don't want to. They don't want anybody. They don't want to see their name, you know, up there in the, because they left a comment. You know, they don't want to do that. They're lurkers. Fishing. I love fishing. It's been so long since I've been fishing. It's not funny. I used to love fishing when I was a boy, and I used to do so well. My father was not the best hunter in the world, but man, he'd catch fish when other people would be standing around, be out on the pier or be, you know, along the shore or whatever, and there'd be people watching him catch fish, and they're not catching a damn thing. That's my father was the fish whisperer. He could catch fish, fresh water or salt water. You get him in a boat, and he'll tear it up. He would tear it up. May he rest in peace. Fish almost every day. Well, that's good. I guess your fish or lake or river. Ocean. Ah. Well, you can catch some big stuff out there. Big stuff. Really big stuff. That is true. 7 in the house, 11 likes. Are you up in Canada, Howie? I hate mailing stuff up to Canada. Last time I sent something other to Claudette, I paid like 5 times what I'd have paid here in the States just to go across the border. It was only a few miles across the border. And she said, I could see the United States side of the border in my backyard, you know, and 5 times as much. Hey, you're out there in that part of Canada that's getting ready to become a state, right? You got some getting ready to vote. They want out of Canada. They want in the United States. Talking about, we'll be the 51st state. Is that where you're at? Baking biscuits. Thank you for coming, Uncle Al. Stay in touch. Maybe tomorrow we'll talk about another topic. Alan Sato, Die Bullfrog 79. Excellent channel if you're not a member. So every day when I get up, I thank God for the day. I drink my coffee, take my medicine, say the Lord's Prayer. God bless. Oh, he's in British Columbia? No, that's on the other side. I don't think it's in any danger of doing the right thing and asking to join. The West is fairly conservative. It would if Canada came in to the United States as a series of states, anything east would be socialist. That what you call the Democrats. The West would basically be conservative, most likely be what you call Republicans. And it's a couple of the provinces in the West that are very upset with the Canadian national government, which is over in the French area, and they really don't like it because they're outvoted and they basically give a lot more resources and they get a lot less back, and they're very unhappy. Very unhappy. Cascadia. Well, I know Alberta, very unhappy. They want to vote to leave. And they're very unhappy. You know, they're very unhappy with the socialist prime minister they have now. Canada's going to be hurting financially because of the tariffs and the trade wars and Trump basically told them to kiss. No offense. I hope it works out. Really hope it works out. Anyway, so I will plan on being back tomorrow at 7 p.m. for another edition of Coffee Talk. Appreciate everybody coming in. Please, if you haven't done so, leave a like. I appreciate comments, and I also appreciate ideas for topics. If you want to leave me ideas for topics, I appreciate that. My email address is in the description of all my videos, not my shorts. I don't do it in my live stream. I don't do it in my posts, but my videos will have my email address. You can email me your phone number. If you'd like to talk, I'll send you a text message and we can text or we can talk, and I'll, exchange numbers and we can communicate. And some people do that. I understand if you don't want to. If I ask for your address, it's usually because I'm going to probably send you something. That's my way of giving back. I don't have to do it. I try to help people that I feel like deserve it, and I try to support those who support me. So that being said, I appreciate everybody here, and I will be doing a 2,000 subscriber giveaway, and I've got a little ways to go. But please remember, leave me a like and a supportive comment on each of the last 5 videos I will have released. Like the one I just released here a couple of days back, only got 7 comments. And let's just say you leave that one off and then you go for the others, and then that's one of the 5. Then that mostly could have is 7 people that could actually be in the drawing. And seeing the 100 subscriber giveaway, only had 6 in the giveaway. Enrique won it, and I've already uploaded his video, and I'll mail out his box tomorrow. He should be getting it later in the week. Didn't see him come in this evening, but he'll probably contact me. He's been busy. So everybody, please have a blessed day, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for another edition of Coffee Talk. I enjoyed this one. It was a good one, and I appreciate everybody here. Everybody have a good evening. Bye.